Today we're going to be talking about witch hazel. Witch hazel is an ingredient that's used in skincare products. Let's find out what it does and what it doesn't do. Let's get started. Witch hazel is derived from a plant, from the barks and leaves of a plant called witch hazel. Though it's spelled W-I-T-C-H, it's originally derived from the English word W-Y-C-H, which means flexible, which is actually flexible for flexible because this plant's branches are very flexible. And the hazel, the word hazel, is because of the plant's similarity to hazelnut plant. So that's witch hazel, so that's where it comes from. Let's find out why it's used in skincare now. There are certain compounds in witch hazel which is called tannins. Witch hazel is used in skincare products primarily for these compounds, tannins. So what these tannins do, they are anti-inflammatory. That means they reduce redness and they soothe very irritated skin. They calm irritated skin. So this is especially, witch hazel is useful for acne prone skin. So basically it's used on acne prone skin. So basically it's not a cure for acne, please note, it's not a cure for acne, but if you've got inflamed skin from acne, red irritated skin, then witch hazel is used to calm it down. So it's used to control the after effect of acne. So that's one reason why it's used, anti-inflammatory. The second thing is these tannins, they are also antioxidants. So they can help your skin if from any damage that's been caused to the skin from pollution or pollution or smoking or any damage that's been caused to the skin because of these external irritants. The antioxidants can help strengthen the skin. So witch hazel has these tannins which are antioxidants. So that's the good news. Now let's get into the bad news of witch hazel, the things that you need to be cautious about when using witch hazel. Now tannins, though they are good and it's got anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, they also have a negative side, and this is the side you've got to be careful about. What the negative side is, now witch hazel, when it's used is one of the ingredients in a skincare product, let's say, and you use that skincare product on your face. These tannins in the witch hazel, what they do is they go and trigger the immune system. They knock our immune system and tell them, hey, you are actually allergic to these other ingredients that's there in the skincare product. Ordinarily, our skin would have been probably fine with these other ingredients, but this witch hazel, the tannins in the witch hazel, they go and knock our our immune system and say, hey, you're allergic to these ingredients. So skin starts reacting. Normally it would have been fine maybe, unless you are already allergic to these ingredients. Skin starts reacting, and whenever the immune system kicks in, what happens is skin gets inflamed and becomes red. That's a way for the skin and the body to show that there is something wrong, give me attention. So the skin becomes inflamed and red. So you see, in one hand, these tannins are reducing the anti-inflammation that's been caused by something like acne or something like that. But on the other hand, these tannins themselves trigger the immune system and cause inflammation. So it's if they give some and they give some. They take some and they give some. Yeah? So that's something to be mindful of. And another reason why witch hazel is actually used is in oily skin, this can be helpful because it constricts the pores, it constricts the oil glands and reduces the sebum that gets secreted into the skin, into the visible layer of skin. So that's helpful. That's one of the reasons why witch hazel is used. But on the same token, if you actually use witch hazel on dry skin, it can actually dry up your skin even further because it's reducing that sebum. So we need that sebum. So if you've got oily skin, a little bit of reduction of the sebum is okay. But if you've got dry skin and if witch hazel goes and dries it up even more by constricting the pores in the oil glands, that's not good news. So it can dry up dry skin further. So that's something to be aware of. The third thing is, how is this witch hazel that's used in skincare products obtained? So one, it's used, a process called alcohol distillation is used to get the witch hazel that we can use in the skincare products. So this witch hazel, it's also called witch hazel distillate in some of the skincare ingredient list. It will appear under the name of witch hazel distillate. And alcohol is actually very harmful to the skin. It's extremely drying to the skin and it actually damages the top layer of your skin. The top layer of the skin is like a shield. It has to be strong, only then the skin will stay hydrated and the skin will stay irritant free and breakout free and all that. So it has to be very strong. It's a shield, it's a first layer of defense. Alcohol goes and damages this shield. So you've got to be very careful of alcohol. The thing is, if some of the skincare products, they have witch hazel, they might not even mention they have alcohol in it. Because see, witch hazel itself is obtained from alcohol distillate. So they will just say alcohol distillate, they will just say witch hazel distillate, and that'll be fine because they're not breaking any rules here. But you've got to bear in mind that the witch hazel distillate, by that you mean there is some alcohol in it. So that's something to be wary of with witch hazel. So too much use of witch hazel or products which have got witch hazel can actually have a very drying effect on your skin. That's something to be extremely careful of. It does have some benefits, but it can also be very drying on the skin. Another thing is, witch hazel, some people mistake it to be a makeup remover. Witch hazel is not a makeup remover. If witch hazel is used on the skin which has got makeup, it can actually irritate your skin. So something to be wary of. So that's about it. So witch hazel, it's got a compound called tannins, which has got anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. It's also an astringent. Astringent is where it's actually constricting the pores and reducing that pore size, and oil glands, less oil gets secreted onto the visible layer. That's the astringent property. That's the good news. These three are the good news. But these tannins can cause further inflammation by triggering your immune system and making your skin inflamed. It's telling your skin that you're allergic to the other ingredients in the skincare product. When your skin gets when your skin's immune system gets triggered because of certain ingredients, over time your skin will end up becoming very sensitive. So this is one of the huge negatives of witch hazel. And the other huge negative is it's very drying on the skin because it actually constricts the pores and reduces the oil secretion, sebum secretion onto the face. Plus it's obtained through alcohol distillate, and alcohol is very drying on the skin. It can actually damage the visible layer of the skin. So witch hazel has got quite a few negatives as well. Very drying, very drying on the skin, and can damage the top layer of your skin and can actually make your skin a bit inflamed. Though on one side it can reduce the inflammation that's caused from acne, it has a lot of other negatives. So be careful, be wary of how it's used. Witch hazel, if it's got, the product has got witch hazel without any alcohol, if it clearly says this witch hazel does not have alcohol, that's fine. And then also if it's got other moisturizing ingredients to compromise the negative effects of this witch hazel, then that's fine too. So read the ingredient list, understand what each one is doing, understand how each one is benefiting the other or helping the other one, and then buy the product. So that's it for now. If you found this video useful, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Like, subscribe, and head on to skincabin.com. We make skincare easy. That's it for now. Bye.